So recently, I talked about Jimmy Dore going after Shahid Buttar because he was in favor of impeaching Donald Trump. Shahid Buttar, if you don't know, is challenging Nancy Pelosi. He is the Democratic progressive challenger in Nancy Pelosi's district. So Jimmy Dore had Shahid on. This is a little snippet from the interview he had with him. And he's going to ask a similar thing that he has asked for quite a while to these candidates is third party, third party, third party. Okay, why don't you go third party? Start a third party, blah, 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 blah. He's been saying this about Bernie for a while as well. He also pressed Tulsi Gabbard on this issue very, very hard. And she basically said, nah, it ain't going to work. But let's go ahead and let Jimmy Dore take the reins.
I think that we have an opportunity here, bigger than a seat, bigger even, frankly, than just ending the bipartisan co-optation of our democracy. I think at the end of the day, what we are talking about here is will our species have a future or not? And I think that the climate crisis and the need to secure a consensus on the Green New Deal and the need to secure a consensus on dismantling the Pentagon to ensure climate justice, there's an interesting intersection there we can unpack. Those are imperatives to the same degree as making sure that we, the people, aren't being fleeced by our criminal leaders. These are all imperatives, and I'm the reason I'm running as a Democrat is because I hope at the end of this process not only to be representing San Francisco and Washington, D.C., but also that the Democratic Party might be able to live up to its name finally.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But even if you so let's say this happens, let's play it out. Bernie Sanders wins the nomination. He overcomes the cheating,
which we can expect, yeah.
Right? And the media smears and the thing, and he somehow becomes president. Well, the corporate Democrats. I mean, the Democrats are more conservative than they are progressive, right, in Congress, and so they'll just align with the right wing to oppose your agenda. So why not just start a new party anyway? I mean, it just.
Well, think about AOC and Ro Khanna and Pramila Jayapal and Bernie, right? They're all running as Democrats because we share an agenda of creating a different pole. And I totally think you're onto something here about recognizing that the Democrats are in the way of justice and they're not showing up for the values that they claim to stand for. I think the solution to that, we could either, and we tried this with the Green Party, to build an alternative party. I was a registered Green for more than a decade. And faced with the option of confronting the corporate resources of the Democratic Party, with a grassroots alternative versus just running within the party to take the reins, you might describe the strategy that we are pursuing as much more audacious and bold.
So as you guys see there, Jimmy Dore he's super passive aggressive. He always throws in that weird laugh as well, but that fingers crossed seemed to be a bit weird, a bit passive aggressive type of antagonistic type of thing, but Jimmy Dore has gone on about this third party thing nonstop over and over again, and I have a lot of problems with this. So what I liked about that though is that Shahid himself was part of the Green Party, where he was a registered Green, as he says there, and when Kyle Kulinski and Kyle talked about this, he basically explained that when he and Cenk were basically deciding on founding the Justice Democrats, they looked into the idea of starting a third party. But they came away with the conclusion after a deeper analysis about it as to, okay, how do we have the best chance to make any change? And it was the Justice Democrats route, because the system is completely rigged against third parties, and so there's a slew of problems that exist with a third party, and we're gonna go through all of that kind of stuff. Now, there's one thing that we got to look at here, and I hate to do this because I'm not trying to be like just a dick about the Green Party, but here's how many representatives, federal representatives, okay, people in Congress, people in the House of Representatives, right? House of Representatives, 435 members, right? And then you have the Senate with 100 members, right? They're supposed to balance each other out, we got, bicameral. So 1992, 0 representatives. 1994, 0 representatives. 1996, 0 representatives. 1998, 0 representatives. 2000, 0. 2002, 0. 2004, 0. 2006, 0. 2008, 0. 2010, 0. 2012, 0. 2014, 0. 2016, 0. 2018, 0. Senate, 0.00000000000. That's 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2008, 2010, 2012, 2014, 2016, 2018. They got nothing. They didn't get a single representative or a senator. And again, I'm not trying to be, a dong or anything, but I'm just looking at the numbers. This is not a feasible route, folks. It's simply not a feasible route. This is an impossibility. There's no way you look at this and go, third party, that's a genius idea. No, it's not. And Jimmy Dore seems to be under this ridiculous notion. He talked to this, like I said, he pressed Tulsi Gabbard hard on this, okay? And his analysis was basically, if you and Tulsi, and he says you are the two most popular people. I don't know where he got the idea or the numbers that Tulsi is the second most popular person in America. That's hilarious. Barely anyone even knows who she is. He said, if you two start a new party, it'll be the most popular party in the country on day 1 or day 2. Let's even say day 30 or 365. What are you talking about? No, it won't. Just because Bernie Sanders starts his own party, it doesn't mean that it's going to become this huge thing. There's a ton of institutional bias against third parties, and they wouldn't get that many people, straight up. So I don't even know where he got that analysis from. It's stupid. Tulsi Gabbard was like, I don't think you're right on that one. She said that to his face. But there's just no way you look at these numbers and go, yeah, man, a third party is the correct route. Now, what are the problems with going third party, right? The problems that exist with going third party are a few of them, all right? One of them being it's incredibly difficult to get seats through a third party route. So the reason for that being, you have a district, right? So let's say you've got a certain amount of people for this new party all around the country, right? You would need enough people concentrated within a single district just to get one House seat in the House of Representatives. That's a very difficult thing to do. Then a statewide race, then you need enough people in the overall state to get that, which is also difficult. So that's why you're virtually going to get nowhere doing this third party route. Also, how long is it going to take to get even one representative or senator in power? Okay, another question that I have. What happens in the meantime? Like, do we just let Republicans continue to win? Because that's not a feasible answer, too. We can't just allow the opposition to win in the meantime and gut everything that we want to put in place and already have in place. That's a terrible idea. So there's a slew of things here that don't work. And what's Jimmy Dore's main thing? His analysis is, we don't have time for incrementalism. Bruv, this is the ultimate incrementalism in terms of numerical, basis. We look at the numbers and we look, this is incrementalism, except this isn't incrementalism. They got literally nowhere. They didn't get any seats. They literally got nowhere. So, which one is incrementalism? Actually winning what? What did the Just Democrats win? Like 5-6 House seats in their first go-around, okay? Took out Joe Crowley, who's like third in line in the House after Pelosi. Unseated that guy. And then let's see how many of them win this upcoming round. So, which one's better? A third-party route, which has gotten 0 of anything, or Justice Democrats who have gotten, whatever it was, 4, 5, 6 representative in his first go-around. So, empirically speaking, this is the incrementalism, okay? That's why this is stupid. It's going to take a stupid amount of time. It's ridiculous. And what I find unreal and unbelievably hilarious is he's telling Shahid, like, oh yeah, you should, why don't you start a third party? Like, what? Shahid Buttar, who's running a primary against Nancy Pelosi, is going to have the time and the ability and the resources to start a new party? Are you telling Bernie to start a new party, or are you telling Shahid? Like, it's such a stupid question, such a out of the blue, out of pocket question. Like, what? Shahid's gonna make his own his own third party? What? Are you insane? Are you out of your mind, dude? And what I love about this is, remember Kyle and Jenk talking about how they want change, right? What did they do? They actually did some shit that resulted in massive, intangible change, okay? Or, sorry, not intangible, unfathomable change. So, they're like the anti-Jimmy Dore. They actually go out and do shit, okay? They make change, unlike Jimmy Dore, who he says he's in his basement, or I don't know if his basement or garage. He says he goes in there, he screams at stuff, says dumb stuff, doesn't do anything. Okay, he goes on his show tours. That's about it. He doesn't do anything in terms of like, oh, if you want a third party, homie, start your third party. Let's see where it goes. Now, another issue that I have with Jimmy Dore is that the way that he speaks about Bernie Sanders is clearly shafting him, and it's very, very clearly detrimental and destructive, just what he's saying, okay? So when you tell people basically that, oh, even if Bernie wins, let's give him all the doubt in the world, look, Congress isn't going to pass any of his legislation. I mean, he sounds like David Pakman, actually, funny enough, which Jimmy Dore fans don't like David Pakman. David Pakman doesn't like Jimmy Dore. The fans don't like each other. They don't like each other. So, irony, they've come together here in a very odd way. But, it's basically telling voters, stay home until we have a new third party, which I'm not going to found because I'm too fucking lazy to do that. And so what you've got going on is a dude who's just spreading laziness of like, don't do anything. Don't go out to vote. Don't be excited about Bernie Sanders. Don't push Bernie's campaign. And I think that that's very destructive rhetoric coming from Jimmy Dore. That's what I think. I think that if you're a commentator who's a progressive commentator, and then, you're a big Tulsi guy for God knows why, and you're basically giving this laziness incentivizing rhetoric that's going to do damage to the progressive movement, right? We're relying on ground game, we're relying on energy, we're relying on young vote to come out, all of this stuff. And then Jimmy Dore's like, yeah, but let's give him all the benefit of the doubt. Congress isn't going to pass any of his legislation, so who cares? You need to start a third party. That's so disgusting on his part. And it's irresponsible, to be quite frank with you. Completely irresponsible behavior on his part. But Jimmy Dore seems to be a bit of a lost cause here, and this is just absolutely embarrassing.